What's going on, guys? Welcome back. We've got the off-season, episode 1. In this one, we've got the coach carousel, coaching changes, players leaving, transfer request, exporting the draft class, the draft results, and then from that point, that'll be the end of this video. And then in video 2, 3, and 4, which will be split into 3 Saturdays. So we'll have 6 teams being covered in video number 2, 6 teams being covered in video number 3, and then the recruiting recap and signing day in video number 4. So that'll be recruiting based. So you guys know what's going on with your teams with the recruiting. And then in video 5, we'll be doing position changes, training results, cutting the players. We'll create all the prospects that you guys gave us in the comment section to get ready to be imported into the 2017 rosters. So that'll be video 6, and then red shirts, depth charts, team previews, schedule reveals, 6 teams at a time will be video 7 and video 8. So in total, this will take, the off season will take 8 Saturdays. So basically 2 months. 2 months of videos for the off season. And in doing this, we will basically be having the Mountain West being shown every Wednesday. So that's how we'll run it. So every week you'll have 2 college football videos on the channel. Wednesdays will be Mountain West, Saturdays will be American Conference off-season. And then by that time, by the time that the Mountain West is completed and the American Conference is ready to get going, and then the American Conference will be getting ready to get back going in the summer. So probably like May. We're thinking May. So you guys will be entertained with the Mountain West thing going on. And basically what we're doing is, what we're wanting to do is to try to kind of alternate when each season will start. So the Mountain West in 2018 will start in the fall. You guys can understand that timeline. So it'll be cool. It'll be really cool. That way we can have 2 different dynasties going at the same time and nobody's getting confused and all that. So it just makes sense. But we got the coaching carousel right now. So there's a lot going on with these other schools like Arkansas State, Kansas. They wanted to hire Kevin Beam,
the head coach for Gallatin.
Owen Black caught a lot of interest. Wade Barr did not catch a lot of interest, the head coach for the Golden Jackals. Neither did LeVar Brown. But we had some interest. We had some interest around there. Rocky Butcher was the head coach for Georgia A&M. He caught some interest. But overall, our American Conference teams started getting a little bit of love. Maryland wanted Kevin Beam, I think it was, and then the little smaller schools like Arkansas State and Kansas were really eyeing us. Tulsa as well wanted Wade Barr. Did not show that. But take a look at the coaching changes. So Scranton State and UF Cape Coral basically fired their offensive coordinators and defensive coordinators. So they said, out with the old and in with the new. These guys are just not getting it done. So they're making some moves, guys. So be happy on that. Let's go into some players leaving now. So we'll take a look at each team and their players leaving. Kayleigh Pryor is gone. Bethel, the quarterback, 66 overall, is gone. And then Neil Vincent, 45 overall running back, is also gone. These are basically all seniors. Sorting this by overall player rating, we got Eugene Barrows, who was the captain on defense, 89 overall for Clarksville. He is no longer going to be on the team. Evander Ingram, the tight end. Actually, the running back there with Corey Pickens, and then McKnight, the tight end. They're all graduating. So there's a lot of seniors that are leaving Clarksville. So very senior laden. It's going to be tough for Clarksville to get back to where they were. Looking at Scranton State, kind of out with the old, in with the new. Like I said, guys, earlier. A lot of their seniors were about 70 overall, 75 overall. Their best player, Sanders, that left end, is leaving for graduation. He did not end up going into the draft. So 87 overall was just, he wasn't good enough. Just couldn't quite cut it. Let's go to Ohio Western and take a look at them. Sean Russell, their best player, quarterback, 90 overall. It's kind of a weird rating because he's really not that good. Very West Coasty. Matthew Brooks, running back, also leaving. Take a look at Russell's numbers. 12 touchdowns, 7 picks on the season. That's nothing. Like, what was that? Sean Ratliff has to graduate. He probably in real life would have tried to go for a medical red shirt, a medical clearance to play in his senior season again, but based on this game, he's a senior red shirt, ended 2013 on an injury, so he is done for Ohio Western. Tayshaun Rivers graduating, but they didn't say he was going into the draft, guys. He is actually in the draft, in the exported draft class, so just to let you guys know that. Cordell Crenshaw, he's going to the pros, projected round 3. DeMarcus Cannon, Mendoza, Roy Woodson. These Kentucky Tech players, man, they're losing a lot of guys. Like, there's only 4 players that are under an 80 overall, and they're losing a ton of that talent. Like, I think Kentucky Tech is probably bound to get worse this season, to have a down year, but they should be back in the next coming years. Taking a look at Greenville here. John Michael Schultz projected into the pro draft. Akers, pro draft. Proby, pro draft. These guys are kind of in the same boat as Kentucky Tech, so Greenville might be seeing a down year as well. Georgia A&M, expect them to have a down year because look at the talent that they're losing. Paxton Murphy, Freddie Bowie, Garland Lockhart, DeJuan Stricker, Ontario Hughes, Broussard, Jeff Coates, Sales, Linklater, Lamar Moore. These guys are in, like, how many draft picks? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There's 9 guys in that top 10 list that are draft picks potential. That's why, guys, that they were so good and that they, quote unquote, made their own luck, or they were a really lucky team. Well, they're pros. They're pros in the making. Alan Tebow. This is something I want to talk about, guys. Alan Tebow, the quarterback, we'll get to it in a second, but he is transferring to Greenville. So as soon as John Michael Schultz leaves, Alan Tebow is going to Greenville to play quarterback. That's very interesting. We don't usually see our players going over to other team builder teams to go transfer to. So you guys saw Gallatin's players leaving. Nothing really too crazy for them, so they should be back at it and having a good season. Crabtree is the guy that's going to be going into the draft. Nigel Meringue, Lorenzo Terrell, Dylan Fernandez, he's declaring for the draft, so we'll see if we can't snag him to keep him around. Taking a look at Daytona State, only losing some depth guys, really. Chad Hebhill, he's gone. Derek McGuire, the left tackle. Will Green, the captain on defense in the secondary. He's also gone, only a 77 overall, so it's nothing too crazy. But you know, you don't ever want to lose those type of seniors that, you know, gave you some of their best years that they had. Charleston State, Adam Christensen, 90 overall, free safety declaring. Richards, Gatewood, Bird, Small, very good players. A lot of guys in the high 80s. So expect Charleston State to, you know, have a good season still, but I don't think that they're going to be as good as they were last year. Carolina Atlantic, they got some guys that they can definitely bring back. Kyrie Houston, Kyrie Houston is projected to go. J.D. Gunderson, Tanner Gossett, Cortez Babcock. He doesn't look like he's going to the draft, but he actually is, guys, so don't be worried about that. But we'll look into some transfer requests and try to see if we can't get some guys to come back. Come back to us, please. We need you. We need your help. So let's go to Clarksville and try to get these guys to come back here. So, kind of interesting, though, because they only give you 3, 6, and 9 games, and then they offer you some of the carries or will win national championship. So it kind of stinks that that's the only thing that they give you for trying to get your transfers to come back. But as you guys saw, we're unable to get the one transfer to come back for Clarksville. Let's go to Scranton State and try to get Ray Spurlock, and it doesn't look like it's going to happen, guys. You know, with them needing as many players and as much depth as they can possibly have, you really need to get your guys to come back. But we did end up getting Carlos Richards for Charleston State. Let's go over to Colt Kreitzer to try to get him to come back for Gallatin. They definitely, he was very crucial in their running attack. So, and he's coming back, so that's a good thing. DeMarcus Cannon, got to come back, dude. Got to come back to the Kentucky Tech Blue Bats here. Let's go with yeah, college degree. He is coming back. Cool. DeMarcus Cannon, he's staying, so that is good. McGuire looks like it's a lost cause, guys. Quarterback, 67 overall freshman. He's transferring to Idaho. So look out for Ryan McGuire to try to be the savior of the Idaho program. And it, like I said, guys, the very low persuasion chance doesn't look like it's going to happen. So let's go over to Greenville and check out who we can get to come back here. Curtis Proby. Probably would have been cool to see him get drafted, but he's going to come back and try to improve his draft stock. He's declaring his projected round number 4. Projected round number 3, actually. Evan Musmeyer was the round number 4. He's coming back. So that's good for the punt team, the special teams. These transfers, Sean Edwards. It's so hard when guys transfer because it's like they just made up their mind, they're not coming back. It's probably easier to grab guys and reel them back in when they want to go pro, but it's harder when guys are trying to leave to another school for playing time. So it doesn't look like it's going to happen, guys, either of these dudes. So Christian, he's gone. So Greenville only able to nab Curtis Proby, but that's not too bad. It's not too bad. Garland Lockhart, let's try to get him that's probably the easiest one. College degree. He's coming back, so that's good. Garland Lockhart. Ontario Hughes, he's coming back. And then let's see some more transfers. Nope. Mitch Houston, not gonna happen. Alan Tebow, we're just going to leave him alone because Greenville needs a quarterback, and Gamu has J.R. Loskamp in the background. So he's a very, very good quarterback, and he can take the place of Alan Tebow very easily. So Tebow, go ahead. We'll leave you alone, man, and go to Greenville. They need a guy. They need a guy to lead the charge because John Michael Schultz really struggled, really struggled his last season for Greenville. And given that they're losing a lot of talent, Tebow makes sense. As a freshman, a 73 overall freshman who after this season will probably end up being a 78 because of the progress and the training results. So Tebow is going to be a stud. He's going to be a stud for Greenville. All right, let's go over to the Carolina Atlantic Drakes and check them out. They've got some guys. J.D. Gunderson, persuasion chance very high, so he's definitely coming back. That's a good thing for the Drakes. And then Tanner Gossett, we really need him to come back as well. He was a very, very good player for the Drakes. A lot of catches, a lot of slot receiving type of formations for him, so it's a good thing. Dylan Fernandez for Fort Lauderdale Piranhas, projected round 7 for Dylan Fernandez. So he's not ready. He's not ready. He needs to work on his craft a little bit. There were some interceptions that he threw that were probably the pro scouts were thinking, not good, man. Not good. You can't make those throws. You got to be able to sit back in the pocket, not feel like you need to run all over the place all the time. So he's raw. Dylan Fernandez is raw. And my brother talked about him earlier in the season at the very beginning of this series as being a very Johnny Manziel type of player. Well, if you're desperate enough for a quarterback like the Browns were for Manziel, you're going to take him even though he played like he was a round 7 type of quarterback. So I can see why Dylan Fernandez is being projected there. But I think in time, next season, his senior season, he will be a very good quarterback for a team in 2017. So let's try to get Dylan Fernandez back to the Fort Lauderdale Piranhas. And just from looking here, guys, he's a projected 7th round draft pick. Trying to shoot for anything in the 3rd or the 2nd, trying to bump his draft stock up will be tough. And in order to keep that promise, this is what will be tough. You know, offering something like that, you're definitely going to want to stay. But, you know, to bump his projection up from where the game sees him going is going to be hard. Kaminsky doesn't want to come back. He's transferring to Central Florida, so we got to shoot to try to get Fernandez back, and we ended up offering him to get that 2nd round projection, and he accepted. So he is coming back to Fort Lauderdale, and for that head coach Stouffer to try to keep his promise to Fernandez that he will be a 2nd round draft pick, it's gonna be hard. It's gonna be hard, but I think we can do it because Fernandez 89 overall right now. Definitely going to get that bump in training results, be a better quarterback overall. If they start throwing the ball all over the place, it's going to be a lot of tape, a lot of film for the NFL scouts to watch on him. So, yes, guys, this is going to get exported into Madden 25. So, this is the pro draft results that NCAA 14 projected, but I will show you guys Madden 25 actual draft results. So you guys will see I'll show Alabama here because those are probably the most notable pros to get drafted right now in this era. So I will show that roster just so you guys know that this roster that was exported is going to match with what I had in Madden 25. Let's talk about our guys here. Paxton Murphy went in the 1st round. Juwan Stricker in the 4th. Lamar Moore 4th. A lot of draft picks coming out of Georgia A&M. Pierre Akers, the defensive tackle, went in the 1st round. John Michael Schultz got drafted in the 4th. So it seems like a good projection there for him. Cordero Crenshaw went in the 3rd. Roy Woodson in the 6th. And Matt Evans projected in the 7th round. Didn't do a whole lot in the Kentucky Tech offense, but he is a very good player. If used properly, if used correctly, he will definitely be a good fit for someone. Reuben Foster in this draft left early. O.J. Howard left early. So this roster, Ardarius Stewart, yep. So this is all, he's a junior in this game, which was based on 2016 rosters. This is all correct. So just got to match it up in Madden, and that way we're not having duplicate players going on. So let's check out some transfer requests now. Daytona State does not have any. Cameron Campbell wants to go to Charleston State. He is from South Florida, so interesting transfer request there. But in order to make sure we're signing these guys, I want to go to each team and take a look. So Clarksville has nobody. Let's go to Scranton State, check them out. They've got 2 guys. So strong safety from Boston College and Michael Dwumfor, freshman, 72 overall from Michigan, wants to go to Scranton State. So that's a big bump for Scranton State for sure, a big boost. Let's go ahead and go to Charleston State, check out what they got. I don't think they had anybody. Oh, yep, right, yeah, they did. The center from South Florida, 69 overall. That'll help them. Gallatin, this will be interesting to see if anybody feels like they're going to get any playing time. Nope. No transfers for Gallatin. There should be some transfers for Cape Coral, though. Let's check these guys out. 1-11 team. Yikes. Okay, freshman Antoine Richardson, cornerback from Florida. Florida, the state of Florida, but he played at Maryland, 71 overall. That's pretty solid. They'll definitely need that. And then Ohio Western did not have any transfers wanting to go to their school. Can't imagine why. They're just not doing very good with this stuff here. Kentucky Tech, no transfers. Let's see about Greenville real quick. Alan Tebow, we already knew that, 73 overall. No touchdowns, no picks last season. Only had 8 completions of 29 attempts. So he's got to work on the accuracy a little bit. That might have been in a relief appearance for a blowout by Paxton Murphy and the Peach Panthers. So let's check out and see. Oh, well, here we go. 72 overall freshman from Michigan, Elise Mimbosi. Never heard of that guy. And I'm a Michigan guy. I never heard of that guy. Going to Georgia A&M. Carolina Atlantic, nothing. Nobody wants to go there this season. Fort Lauderdale, transfer request here, and got nobody. And then Daytona State, I don't think we had anybody wanting to come over either, which I'm kind of surprised by. I thought we were going to get some guys to come on over to play for Daytona State, because we need them. We need the talented pieces, guys, definitely, for sure. Losing a lot of our depth seniors last season. Definitely would have loved to have those types of guys. All right, so now let's go ahead and go into Madden 25. Just for transparency, guys, I picked the Detroit Lions, but I did not do any sort of offseason or any kind of re-signing of players or anything. You guys could see it was between the Steelers and the 49ers in this game for the Super Bowl, and Colin Kaepernick won a Super Bowl. So as much as I hate to say it, Colin Kaepernick came through. All right, let's check out the draft board. Paxton Murphy projected to go #1 overall. Got Greg Ward in there, Justin Thomas, Jordan Lewis from Michigan, Adoree Jackson, Evan Ingram. So you guys can see this was the 2017 draft. So Carson Wentz is already on the Philadelphia Eagles in this Madden 25 roster. So that's kind of where my he's like the staple guy for me. Like, I know what drafts are which. So Carson Wentz has already technically played a season when this draft class is being imported. So we're good on the draft class. Saw Tayshaun Rivers, he's a B overall, so that's a good thing. Got some other players in there. Let's see, Matt Evans, the tight end. Remember I was talking to you guys about him for Kentucky Tech. He's projected at 31st overall in the first round. That's Seth Russell, not Sean Russell of the Ohio Western Ospreys. Seth Russell was the quarterback for Baylor. Just taking a look at some players here, just kind of scrolling on through. Isaiah Bracken projected at the second round, 17th overall in the second round. He was a defensive end for the Fort Lauderdale Piranhas. So obviously some very, very good players here. There's Sean Russell. Oh boy, 24 years old, C overall. And I can tell, you guys can tell if you are scrolling through here, if you're following along, the college is not applicable, not that because they didn't go to college, but because the college is a team builder. They didn't register that. So Baker Mayfield is in this draft. Lorenzo Terrell, third rounder, left tackle for the Fort Lauderdale Piranhas. Most of our guys here that you guys will notice, there's Cordero Crenshaw, strong safety for the Blue Bats. Most of these guys were later, mid to late round picks. And I just love the faces. I love the faces that they come up with for these guys. You guys, I really like Sean Russell's image that they picked for him. Adam Christensen looks like a baller. Although I don't agree with Paxton Murphy's face. He looked almost Hawaiian to me, or Samoan. I didn't really get that, so I just have to go with it, I guess. But that's the image that they picked. Let's see. Oh, there's John Michael Schultz. I love that face for John Michael Schultz. That's perfect. That's exactly what he looks like. A vertical offense, strong arm quarterback. Fourth round projection. Nigel Narang, center for the Piranhas. The Piranhas had some love in this draft class for sure. So I'm just going to let you guys check this out. We're almost finished with scrolling through these players, and then I'll go from there. So we'll go from this point over to the actual draft results, and I'll talk to you guys about their projections for the future. All right, guys, so let's go ahead and get right into the NFL draft. We get about 31 players that are going to be able to be drafted, so it's going to be interesting to see where they fall. The Jacksonville Jaguars have the first overall draft pick, so apparently Blake Bortles did not do very well leading the Jacksonville Jaguars to the promised land. So got the Bears number 2, the Jets number 3, Buccaneers number 4. So like I said, it'll be interesting to see where our guys land. Matt Miller apparently thinks that Paxton Murphy should be going first. That'll be an interesting thing to see if the Jaguars go ahead and do that, and they do. So Paxton Murphy out of Georgia A&M, conference championship losers to Gallatin, is going to go number 1 overall in the NFL draft. So let's go ahead and take a look at the draft board and see how many of our guys that we expect to be in the first round or the early second. So it looks like Tayshaun Rivers is supposed to go 14th overall. And then we've got, let's see. Oh, there we go. We got Matt Evans, who is the tight end, 6'4" tight end out of Kentucky Tech. So his teammates, we got 2 Kentucky Tech offensive players possibly going in the first round. So let's go ahead and advance picks and see where everybody falls. Jordan Lewis to the Bears. Go Blue. O.J. Howard to the Jets. Kind of like that, actually. I kind of wish that that's where he went instead of the Buccaneers. Cameron Brate didn't do anything for me this fantasy season. Adoree Jackson goes to the Buccaneers. Boyette Jr. to the Cowboys. Evan Ingram, tight end, going to the Vikings. C.J. Beathard being drafted by the Falcons. Greg Ward to the Dolphins. There we go. Tayshaun Rivers, number 9 overall draft pick to the Tennessee Titans. That's awesome. I love the Tennessee Titans, and I love Tayshaun Rivers, so that's perfect. It's a perfect fit. Even though they've got Derrick Henry and DeMarco Murray, they need that speed back. You know, they need a guy like Tayshaun Rivers to catch the ball out of the backfield. So I do like that pick. I'm just going to go ahead and simulate to the end of the draft here, and then we'll go right straight into the rookie signings to see where everybody fell. Otherwise, that would have been a long, arduous process to see where everybody fell through 7 rounds. So guys can see I am the Detroit Lions just as an easy pick here, hometown team, but doesn't look like they got any of our guys. Go figure. Actually, it's funny, in this season, as we see Cordero Crenshaw, strong safety, being drafted 2nd round by the Packers, that's a nice pick for them. Even though he's a 69 overall, he should be a good safety for them in the future. It's pretty funny because Madden 25 does not allow you to simulate an entire season. You have to do it week by week by week. And it's pretty funny. The Lions started off 5-0 in this season, and they finished 7-9 and missed the playoffs. So they went 2-9 to finish the regular season. That's insane. Sean Russell, I love this. Sean Russell goes to the New England Patriots, my team. But interesting that they would even want Sean Russell. Like, what is that about? Maybe Bill Belichick thinks he's a project guy and he wants to fix him up. Saw Broussard also got drafted by the Patriots. The Raiders ended up not taking any of our guys here. Matt Evans goes to the Rams, so they picked him the 23rd draft pick. They also took 5 other tight ends. Good draft. Good draft, Rams. Oh my God. Why would you do that? I swear, man, the CPU in some of these drafts for Madden, just, there's no logic at all. Cortez Babcock goes to the Ravens in the 7th round, so they got a steal in that for sure. But interesting that he didn't go a little higher, because he was quite a playmaker for the Drakes last season. Looking at the Saints, they didn't end up taking anybody here. The Seahawks, they also didn't take anybody. Let's go to the Steelers. Yep, Lorenzo Terrell. So left tackle out of Fort Lauderdale goes to them. And then Hunter Jeffcoat, left guard. And then Lamar Moore, halfback. So both players out of Georgia A&M. So the Steelers, love those Georgia A&M guys. And then looks like the Texans didn't go the route of the American Conference team builder teams, and Isaiah Bracken goes to the Titans. out of Fort Lauderdale. And then we got Tayshaun Rivers, obviously. DeJuan Stricker also goes to the Titans, defensive tackle in the 6th round. So we kind of like that. The Vikings, looks like they did not get anybody from us. The Chicago Bears, Jordan Lewis, Jalen Reeves-Maben, Adam Christensen, there you go, good pick from Charleston State as a free safety for the Bears. I think he should be pretty good there. John Michael Schultz to the Bengals in the 4th round. So Andy Dalton might be on his way out. John Michael Schultz might be able to take his job away someday, somewhere in the future. Forrest Lamp to the Bills in the 7th round. That's kind of where he was projected. Jonathan Allen to the Broncos. Don't look like took anybody from the American. Browns had a pretty decent draft, I would say. Let's go to the Buccaneers real quick. Adoree Jackson was their first pick. Desmond King out of Iowa, so they got 2 shutdown corners. Nigel Narang, great value pick there. And then Chris Small, right tackle. I forgot where he went to school, but pretty solid draft for the Buccaneers, I would say. Cardinals, didn't get anybody from the American Conference. Freddie Bowie out of Georgia A&M goes to the Chargers at center. It's a pretty good pick. Pierre Akers in the 4th round, 60 overall. He might end up getting cut, guys. 60 overall, not very good. But pretty cool here. The Chiefs drafted Patrick Mahomes. That's awesome. When I first saw that, I thought, wow, that's pretty interesting. And then, but they also took Chad Kelly out of Ole Miss. So, again, CPU draft logic is just kind of strange. We saw Sanders get drafted as well to the Chiefs. Xavier Austin, defensive tackle, 3rd round. Cowboys took nobody, thank God. No, the Kyrie Houston went to the Cowboys in the 7th round. Dang it. Dang it, dang it. I don't like the Cowboys. Actually, I hate the Cowboys. Let's check out the Dolphins. Nope. Nobody from there. For the Dolphins, Eagles, nobody. Nobody from my Eagles either. Falcons got CJ Beathard, Ryan Glasgow, Baker Mayfield. They drafted 2 quarterbacks. Oh my gosh. Reuben Foster in the 7th round. That doesn't make any sense at all. Reuben Foster is a great linebacker for the 49ers. And then as we talk about the 49ers, Roy Woodson, the free safety from Kentucky Tech. Cameron Crabtree, 7th round linebacker who won a trophy as the best linebacker in college football. Going in the 7th round. So apparently they just don't really like his measurables for whatever reason. All right, let's check out the Jaguars. You got Paxton Murphy going 1st overall, and then Jeremy Linklater, also a Georgia A&M product, went in the 6th round. So a nice little team up there between Murphy and Linklater. The Jets don't look like they took anybody of ours. Lions obviously did not. So that's it, guys. That's the draft results. So let's go ahead and check out the depth chart and see where these guys land. Like to see where everybody fell. So, but interesting that the Lions have Ricky Stanzi. Sean Russell there with the Patriots, 3rd on the depth chart, 68 overall, behind Ryan Mallett and Tom Brady. Paxton Murphy, obviously the starter. We kind of thought that he was going to be the starter, but 88 overall? Holy cow. Guys, Paxton Murphy is... Ooh, he could be the GOAT. He could be the GOAT. We'll just have to find out. Tayshaun Rivers, 3rd on the depth chart there for the Titans. So, guys, that is it for this episode of the off-season. So I hope you guys liked it. Make sure you guys leave a like if you like this thing. And if you're new to this channel, make sure you hit that little red subscribe button or my logo for more NCAA college football team builder videos and other things. You guys know this channel does it all. But just to let you guys know the schedule here, as I alluded to in the beginning of the video, we'll be doing episode 2 of the off-season next Saturday, and that will be video number 2. We'll be doing 6 teams there for recruiting, and then show the other 6 teams in video number 3, which will be the following Saturday. And then we'll do a recruiting recap video of all of it, show the signings signing day. That'll be in video number 4. So that'll be 3 Saturdays from now. So if you guys can kind of get what I'm throwing down here, it's going to be a long off season. That would be video number 4. We have 8 videos lined up for you guys for the off season, and from that point, we'll be ready to go. So once the Mountain West Dynasty is over, the American Conference Dynasty will begin. So that's kind of how we're going to run this, is that we don't want to cross both dynasties happening at the same time. So we do want to do one dynasty's season separate from the others. So that's kind of the game plan. So in total, there will be 8 videos for the offseason. This is video number 1. So we're looking at a 2-month offseason for the American Conference, but we will be updating you guys every single week as you'll know what's happening and what's going on for your teams and the conferences, so you don't really get bored with it or out of the loop. So with that being said, guys, I'll see you next Saturday for the American Conference, and Mountain West Dynasty will be happening because we've got the vote that's ending on the 31st. The Mountain West Dynasty will begin on the 3rd. So the next college football video you guys are going to be getting is on the 30th. So I'll see you guys next week. And as always, peace.